Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast. I'm Rick, and I am joined by my best friend, brother, and partner in crime, Donnie. And today's subject is what's going on with the Leafs. They seem to be on crash mode since the Olympics. What's the solution? Is Craig Berube being fired the solution? Do they need toughness? What's the problem? I'm going to let Donnie start off with his opinion and see what he has to say about the whole situation.
Well, thanks, Rick. I do have a couple points to make, and we're going to make them starting right now. Rise up! Rise up! It's game time! All right. Do I think the problem solved is to fire Berube? Absolutely not. There's absolutely no way. He's proven Stanley Cup winner. He had him in third place in the NHL last year. Same system, same coach. Yeah, they're a slightly different team, but not enough of a difference to put them from third to second last in the East. Okay, he's not the problem. The problem is the team. They're a bunch of slackers. They have been. They don't win because they don't have to.
Yeah.
All there is to it. And they missed an opportunity during the trade deadline to take a couple of their more expensive players and just dump them.
Yeah.
That would have then also sent out a message to the team loud and clear. You don't play, you're gone.
Nobody's
We
safe.
don't want you here.
I agree. How a team can go, like you said, from the third best team in the NHL to second last in the East is it's unbelievable. I said that possibly losing Mitch Marner. I didn't think so at first, but I thought that maybe missing Mitch Marner is hurting Austin Matthews a bit because that was his setup guy. But then again, when you're making the money that Austin Matthews is making, that's no excuse. You should be able to make your own plays. You should be able to make your own magic. So that's not it. And I'm not going to let this guy get off either. I was going to say Matt's Nylander, but I'm not. His son, William. Too busy looking good for the cameras. Too busy worried about his wardrobe and the quality of play he gives to the ice. And you're right. They just don't care. They don't care. They're getting paid. Why should they care? They don't. And firing Craig Berube isn't going to do anything because it doesn't matter who you get. They're not going to be able to motivate this team if they don't want to be motivated. That's what I think anyways. Want to expand on anything you have to say, Donnie?
Well, I do agree with that. I think that they've had opportunities to show that they care. Austin Matthews, when he's not hurt, he spends half the time floating. So he's captain of the Leafs. He was captain of Team USA in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Where they won the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew Tkachuk was singing the praises of this guy, saying that his value is so underestimated and his leadership is like, if it wasn't for his leadership, he probably wouldn't have won. And that's good for America. God bless America. I love the passion. I love how patriotic they are.
Yeah.
But pal, you live here 6 months a year at least. You're getting paid by Canada. Where's the effort?
Yeah, exactly. It just boggles my mind because you look at a player like a Connor McDavid or a Sidney Crosby, who, take the game really seriously. When you see Connor McDavid the first year they went to the finals and lost, he was in tears.
Yeah.
That's passion. That's love. That's love not only for the game but for your team. Draisaitl, the same thing. Sidney Crosby's always been, in my mind, and I know you're not a Pittsburgh Penguin fan, but you have to admit, he's one hell of a good leader.
He
And
is.
I believe they
No.
missed him a lot on Team Canada when he didn't play. But that's a subject for another day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the kind of leadership they need. That's the kind of passion and leadership they need. And Austin Matthews doesn't provide that. I don't think he ever will. I don't think he's got it in him. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know why the Maple Leafs, like, obviously they're done for this season,
Oh, yeah.
and it's not looking good for next year.
Mm-mm.
Why not retool? They had a chance at the trade deadline, get rid of some of these guys. They didn't do it. The Rangers, yeah, they started dumping everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, okay, you're gone. Panarin, the bread man, we don't like you anymore. You're gone. And just like you have to send a message to the team the same way that the Leafs sent a message to the league where you can take out our top player and we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're lacking toughness for sure, man. I'll tell you. You explain to me if this would have happened. You tell me if this would have happened with a Darcy Tucker type player on the team, or there's no way that would have happened.
Right?
They're lacking toughness, and the league knows it. They know they're a bunch of freaking pussies, and that's why they do what they do. You take out your captain and you do absolutely nothing. And they proved it earlier in the year, too, when other players were getting hurt, and they did nothing. There was no retaliation. There was no chutzpah. There was no fire to show them, to make a statement. They haven't got a Marty McSorley. They haven't, the type player, that, protected Wayne Gretzky. Nobody messed with Wayne Gretzky when McSorley was on there. They haven't got that.
Did not.
They haven't got that. No, they're lacking a lot of toughness.
Yeah, and even though they didn't do anything when Austin Matthews got taken out, and it's just another injury for Austin Matthews, anyways. But the response was zero, and everyone's saying, "Well, we came out in the third period, and we started, beating people up." Yeah, you know why? Because your fucking coach said, "What the hell was that? Get out there and beat the shit out of these guys in the third period." That's why they did it.
Otherwise, that's not a Berube team.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have done anything. It would have been the same thing. They were just skating around the ice. You know what? I'm not a Leaf fan per se. I am a Ranger fan. But when I saw that, I was even embarrassed for Leaf Nation. I'm going, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, well, the Leafs aren't my number one team. I'm a Penguins fan. Our rivalries went for a long, long time. But I still follow them. But it's been hard this year. I can't remember the last time I watched a Leaf game. I haven't watched any since the Olympics were over and they came back from the break. It's hard to watch them. It's hard to watch the mistakes they made and then think to yourself, it's hard to believe this was the third best team in the NHL last year and they were grinders and everybody was playing their role and doing what they had to do. It's just hard, and the fans don't deserve that. I'm a proud Torontonian, a proud Canadian, and you know what? These Leaf fans are paying big money to go watch this kind of quality team. No, especially now they have to be careful because the East has got a lot better. The Sabres have improved. The Canadians have improved. The Lightning are back to where they used to be. Even though the Bruins, and I don't like the Bruins, I have to admit the Bruins are doing better, and Ottawa's doing better. I won't say Florida. Florida's just Florida this year. I don't know what's going on with them, but all these other teams that were cellar dwellers are now made the proper adjustments and trades and got the proper players and everything, and they're improving. And they've improved, and they're going to the playoffs. And this year, the Leafs are sitting there polishing up their golf clubs. Something's got to change, and maybe it's the general manager. Maybe it's Tree Living has to go, because I wasn't impressed for what he did at the deadline. So, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting that you brought up people are paying good money to go and see him, because the Leafs are consistently the most profitable team in the whole NHL. Usually goes top three is Leafs, Montreal, flip-flop between Rangers and Edmonton. So last year, Maple Leafs profit was $382 million. This is their profit.
Mm-hmm.
They have been the top money making for years. This isn't just something that's happening now. So it doesn't matter if they win or lose. People are going to show up. People are going to buy the jerseys, buy all the merchandise. So where's the incentive for the
There's no motivation for them to get better.
Say, you know what? We have to do better. But even if you do better, you're only going to spend more money. You're not going to be making any more. I think you've already capped out.
Yeah, so maybe we need to blame the Leaf fans a little bit. They've done this for years. They did this back in the Harold Ballard years when the Leafs sucked shit. They still showed up. They still packed the Gardens. And later on the ACC, it's just crazy. There is no motivation for this team to get any better. There's no motivation for Austin Matthews when he feels that he's safe anyways because he's Austin Matthews and Mats Nylander. Mats Nylander. I'm talking about his father here. Let's try William Nylander.
I'd be happy if we had Mats Nylander.
You know what? He would probably do a better job than his son does. But William Nylander, like I always say, is more important to look good on the camera and his wardrobe than he is on putting quality time on the ice. And he's a guy who picks up garbage. He's like a Phil Esposito. Bullshit. Don't insult Phil Esposito by putting him in the same category as him. No. That's what I'm saying. But I've heard a couple of people have said that to me, that he's like Phil Esposito. No, he's not. He couldn't spit shine Phil Esposito's shoes. So don't even go there. He is guys who looks for garbage. He's another floater like Austin Matthews is a floater. He's a floater. You got two floaters making a hell of a lot of money. If you traded them and lower your gap to pay money and get quality players, maybe not as the high price players, but who cares? Who have passion. That's what they need.
Yeah, they definitely need something. You know what? I honestly don't know what the answer is. I really don't.
No,
but I do know one thing. I do know one thing. The answer is not firing the coach.
No, you know what? I don't know. I'm a big Craig Berube fan. Like you said, he's a Stanley Cup champion coach. He's won a Stanley Cup with St. Louis. His system worked last year. Okay, like you said, they lost a couple of players. They lost Mitch Marner, who's a natural born playmaker. But
not in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, but then again, neither does the Matthews and them don't show up either. They go MIA.
Oh, do you know why? Because they only get playoff money for the playoffs. Their actual salary ends at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. But you think they'd be motivated because I'm sure they go through the whole thing. If they make it to the first round, they get so much. If they make it to the second round, they get more. If they make it to how much they make if they make it to the finals, that's extra cash for them.
They don't really make a lot.
Well, then maybe that's it. I don't know, but this team needs a major overhaul, and I don't want to hear the phrase rebuilding. I'm sick and tired of hearing rebuilding for the Leafs. Rebuilding for the Leafs. No. The rebuild is over. You need to get rid of the garbage and the cancer, and you need to fill it up with people who got heart and desire to play and to win.
Well, I'm thinking part of the problem, just seeing Berube in his press conferences and some of the practices. Problem could be that he's too tough on them, right? And it's like, well, too bad, because you know what? I don't care what sports you play. You're not going to win anything without a coach.
Look at Scotty Bowman. There was a lot of people who hated Scotty Bowman, but they played for him.
They were scared of him.
They were scared. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with having a coach that you're scared of. It worked. They won Stanley Cups. I mean, you need a coach that lights a fire, and if he scares the shit out of you, that's fucking good. Scare the shit out of you even more.
And he won Stanley Cups wherever he went.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. He's a proven winner, and people said, there was a lot of times I hated his guts, but I loved him, and I loved playing for him because he cared. And you know what? They realized the reason he yelled and screamed at them and gave them thing and that was because he cared about them and he cared about the team. And that's what Berube's doing. He cares about this team. And how are they showing it? Well, you're too tough on me. Whoa. I'm not playing for you. Well, get rid of you then. Go play for some other team that they're going to mamsy-pamsy you and everything and make you feel like you're special. I'm sick and tired of it anyways. Go Penguins.
Well, like I was saying a little bit earlier on in the conversation, they proved their character big time when they didn't retaliate when Auston Matthews got hit. Like, that just showed the type of team they are. Any other team in the league, they'd have cleared the benches.
Yeah.
But not the Leafs. It's like,
No.
And then, I wasn't in the right position. I didn't really see what happened. I didn't know. You see your captain flailing on the ice, just go get the shit out of somebody. This is hockey.
Yeah. Like I said back in the day, if you would have seen a player like, say, a Doug Gilmour would have got knocked down, you don't think a Darcy Tucker or a Wendell Clark would have went over there and cleaned their clock?
Hi, Domi.
Ty Domi. That's that guy in Philadelphia or wherever it was where he threw through the glass.
Tiger Williams.
And Domi, Tiger Williams, man. Done like dinner, burnt like toast. These are the kind of players they need. These are the kind of players that put a message out. You fuck with our stars, we're going to fuck you up. That's what they need.
Yep.
And they're not getting it. Don't know if they ever will.
Well, I think that the league has gone a little bit too far away from like the old school hockey.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the fucking public is like, well, there shouldn't be fights. No, hockey is fighting. Okay? Hockey's always been fighting. And it's always going to be fighting. But when, and you know this is a long time ago, when you had players like Gordie Howe, well, you didn't want to be on the other team when he was on the ice.
Oh, no.
He would make
you
man. Pay.
He cut off people.
And he wasn't overly dirty about it. He was a little dirty, but they'll
he was dirty. He was dirty. It's okay to say that. Everybody knows he was dirty, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's like hockey has always been a violent game.
It is, and always will be. Always should be.
Right? There's either people getting creamed into the corners or hooked or tripped or beaten up. That's what makes hockey hockey. And I liked in the olden days where every team had one enforcer. The guy couldn't skate for shit, but he could beat the crap out of you.
I mean, this is it. You have a player like, Philadelphia. Dave the Hammer Schultz. They had Mad Dog Bob Kelly. They had Andre Moose DuPont. All these guys were tough asses.
Bobby Clark.
Bobby Clark was a dirty player. Self-admitted dirty player and proud of it. That's what they need. They need to send a message to the league that you're not going to fuck around with our stars anymore without there being repercussions. Because there has to be.
But that's only part of the problem, because also, like, you could have an enforcer, but every chance that the league gets to punish this guy, they will.
Yeah, because the league's a lot harder on them.
More family friendly. Excuse me, but last time I checked, Hooters was classified as a family friendly restaurant.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
You know what? It's also the state of what the world is now too. You know what? Against anti-violence, they don't want fighting. Well, like you said, fighting is part of hockey. God bless fighting. That's what makes it exciting. It's not just the plays. It's the fighting. It's the fisticuffs. It's people standing up. But like you said, it's a lot more than that with the Leafs. The Leafs need leadership, and they're solely lacking that right now, and they need to do something. And if getting rid of Auston Matthews and William Nylander a first step, I say go for it.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple seasons left. You start to build your team around Tavares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like give
him back the key.
They made a big mistake when they let Zach Hyman go. I couldn't wrap my ass around that one. What are you guys doing?
Oh.
But there are a couple that will work hard. But first of all, I would have kept John Tavares as captain.
Absolutely.
Right? And build a team around him. Yes, he's older, but you know what? He can be like a Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the player he once was. He's not terrible, but he can lead that team and have everything going. But either way, we're getting way off topic again. It's about the coach.
We need to do
not
that.
the coach's fault. The coach needs to stay during the off season. That's when you can start trading these people and dumping some salaries. Because you know what?
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe they didn't do anything that much at the trade deadline because when you're a seller, the value goes down.
Yeah.
Where if it's season's over now, you can kind of negotiate. I'm hoping that's going to be the case because there's 4 or 5 guys on this team that have got to go.
Well, you and I will be watching to see what happens in the off season. And if they don't do anything, then guess what, fans? It's time for you to start showing that you're upset and stop buying the merch. Stop buying tickets for the games because maybe even though corporations are doing it, just show you that you're upset. Show how it's affecting you because it's hard to follow a team who doesn't care. And management who doesn't care to put quality out there. That's all.
Okay, well, so I think that we both agree Berube stays. Players
yep, absolutely. Yep.
GM, you know what? I'd give him 1 more year. I would.
Well, yeah. Why not? Give him 1 more year, see what he can do. But if he doesn't produce after 1 more year, it's time for him to take the train out of Toronto.
Yeah, well, because we don't know how much his hands were tied by ownership either. So
I was thinking about that. He's probably only got so much to do before the management says, hey. Yeah. I'm willing to give him another year.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
I think we agree Berube stays.
Yeah, absolutely.
If any of you guys enjoyed this, like, subscribe, comment. Oh, please comment what you think about this coaching system.
Oh, yes. We're looking forward to hearing your comments about this one, especially.
And share. And, we'll be back next week. We don't know what the topic is yet. We're just flying by the seat of our pants. So that's it for now. Talk to you later. Rick, see you, bud.
Yeah, see you, Donnie. See you, folks.